Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Zon Academy. Today we have Paolo Lubrano here from Implant Concierge. Paolo's an MDT, and he is going to be doing something really great with us today, a live demonstration. His workflow, his way on finishing Rodin Titan restorations featuring Rodin Palette 2.0 and their nitrogen-free glaze, which is a new product. So we're so excited to have you here, Paolo. Thank you for joining us again here on Zon Academy.
Thank you for having me, and this is a pleasure for me to do it. As a lot of people know, I'm a huge fan of Rodin Palette 2.0. I'm a huge fan of Rodin Titan and Sculpture 2.0 as I've used them personally, and they're just awesome products.
Well, we love having you here, and our attendees sure as love having you here. We have a record amount of registrations and attendees here for Paolo's presentation. We will be launching some poll questions. I just want to let you all know that probably during the demonstration. So if you wouldn't mind just answering those questions that Paolo had prepared for us, and there'll also be a Q&A at the end. So get your questions ready and we'll be happy to answer them. But now I'm going to turn this over to Paolo, and I want everybody to enjoy. Thank you.
All right. Well, first, thank you everyone to join me today. Um, I'm very excited, and when I got the news that there were over 170 people registered for this webinar, I got even more excited. So hopefully you're all going to enjoy, and let's move along. All right, so as I said before, Rodin Titan, Rodin Palette, and N2-Free Glaze. And I'm going to show you a couple of things, very cool things. I have one slide about the N2-Free Glaze where I think it's a game changer in our industry, whether you're a clinician or you're a dental lab technician. Um, Titan has been one of the strongest resins I've used in the past since it came out. And I think it came out 3 years ago now. And I fell in love immediately. The best part about that is that it is radio opaque. So when you take an X-ray of the titanium bar, you put Rodin Titan on top of it, you can see the teeth, you can see everything. Versus other type of resins, it's completely transparent. You need to do a combing. You don't have a denture, you have this hybrid. If you have it with Rodin Titan, the combing will pick it up. And actually it looks pretty good. Obviously, it depends on the type of combing you have, how new it is, but that's a different story. All right, so today I'm gonna introduce myself a little better first, and then I'm gonna start my presentation. So I grew up in Perugia, it's in Italy. I spent the first 25 years of my life in Italy, and then I moved to the United States in 2012. And I always fell in love with the lab industry. I never really liked the venture part, I gotta be honest with you. Matter of fact, I always pull the joke that DMD stands for do not make dentures. And here I am, I do make dentures eventually. But I work for Implant Concierge, and I'll explain what Implant Concierge and who they are in the next slide. And this is my little hometown. I used to sit down in front of that fountain almost every day in the summer and spring, fall, winter. There is probably like a fall here, so it's not really that cold for American standards. But in the summer, it gets extremely hot to a point where you can't even stand anymore. But that's where you used to study all the time, basically. Spare time, I'm a big triathlete fan. I roughly do about 3 Ironmans per year, give or take, and a bunch of other small triathlons and some swim meets as well, some run races. So yeah, I'm very, very active, as you can tell. Implant Concierge. I started working for Implant Concierge on September 2024, and I've been loving it. It's been we specialize in guided surgery, which is big thing on my field, a big thing on my career. As I do speak a lot about guided surgery as well. How this tissue sculpting and that kind of things. And when I use tissue sculpting, I have used denture base 2.0 from Rodin, and it works beautifully. And we partner with laboratories, dental offices, both at the same time. So we partner with everything, and we just help people that wants to try or get involved into guided surgery. Pac-Dent. Pac-Dent has been in the field for a long time now, and they do they have a full range of dental products that goes from dental resins to even chair side equipment or chair side supply that you need for hygienists, dental and dentists, and all that kind of things. So it's actually they have a variety of things, and it's very cool products. And then the digital workflow for Rodin. All right, so we have Rodin Titan, which is one of my favorite things. Sorry about that. Rodin Titan and Sculpture 2.0. The differences is that, and I'm going to show you in a little bit too, the difference is that one is actually meant for hybrids and the other one is meant for front and bridge. The Denture Base 2.0, I remember when it first came out and I tried it and I glazed it, I was like, wow, this is rock solid. I ran over my car. I launched it across the room at the wall. It did not break. Eventually I did break it, but after throwing it at the wall for a few times, it does break. The N2-Free Glaze is a game changer, and I'll show you later. And the soft reline kit is also another phenomenal product that you can use for your denture reline. After your full mouth extraction, you can pick up hybrids, cylinders with the soft reline, and it works great. When you use a soft, let's jump in further. Titan has a different shades, phenomenal strength. You're looking at 50+% ceramic filled in Titan, and that's why it's also very, very dense. You have to make sure you heat it up before you print it, and I believe it's 35 Celsius it has to go, and then you can start printing it. Otherwise, there's a chance if a printer doesn't get to that temperature, there's a chance that you might get a misprint. We don't want that. The Sculpture 2.0 is a little stronger than Titan. I don't really like using this product for hybrids, mostly because I like that flexure strength that Titan has compared to the Sculpture 2.0. 2.0 is a little stronger. I will use it for a full mouth rehab for front and bridge all day long. I would definitely use that. 3-unit bridge, single units all day long. And I know there's some clinicians that have used the Sculpture 2.0 for the past couple of years, and they've been documenting cases on how it works, how it the wear and tear, basically, how it works for a long time, and it's been working really, really nice. Unfortunately, I do not have that documentation, but I know some people do have it, and they speak really highly about that. The Denture 2.0, it's it's a denture base. It's a denture resin, comes in a different kind of colors, but it's a strong one. It's a really, really strong. It's not dense. It's really easy to use. It's really easy to glaze it. You want to just polish it, that's perfectly fine. And the kicker is that you can use the N2-Free glaze to glue those teeth into that denture, and I'll show you as well. This is one of the cases that I've done in the past. I think it's about a year old, this case now. And I printed with Rodin 2.0, Rodin Denture Base 2.0, and the teeth were Sculpture 2.0. I think I ended up doing a C2 on that one. So I had to put a lot of gray, a lot of colors to make it look gray, because I only had A2 at a time. What I ended up doing with this is I've used the Rodin Palette in order to achieve that color. I could have just polished it and call it a day, or just glaze it, cure it, call it a day. I decided to use some color just to mimic a little more natural looking tissue and deliver to the patient. The N2-Free. the N2-Free, as I mentioned before, I truly believe this is a game changer in our industry. You don't need to polish it. You don't need anything. You just apply it and you cure it. Now, the kicker of this though is that you can read over here. Let's see if this, you see that it says zirconia. I tried it. I was blown away. It works beautifully on zirconia. And this is a zirconia hybrid that I did, and I used N2-Free glaze and cured it and delivered it. Tissue responding well. Everything is responding really nice to this one, to the N2-Free. Now, the N2-Free is a little dense liquid. In order to, when you apply it, you're gonna make sure to apply it thin, because if you apply it really thick, you're going to lose all the anatomy, you're going to lose all the mamelons, all the texture that you put on that hybrid, or teeth, or denture, or anything. So when you're applying the N2-Free, make sure to apply it thin. Don't worry about not being shiny enough. It will get shiny eventually because you can apply a second coat. And in my experience, if you overglaze, if you overcure with the zirconia, I didn't have any issues. And I cured it a couple times just to see how it works. Versus if I do a printed one, if I overcure it, that thing is gonna go from an A2 to an A4. So with zirconia, you have a little more flexibility with that. And again, we all know as technicians, we all know that a zirconia hybrid in the oven, it's at least an hour 10, an hour and 15 cycle. It needs slow cool, it needs slow rise. It has to be really, really slow. It takes time. It's very time consuming. This one took me 20 minutes in total. So it's actually really good. This is actually show off what the N2-Free can do from the before and after. It's Palette 2.0, which if you've seen me in Chicago, I was standing at the Zone booth all Saturday basically, and just to show off how this works. It has a lot of colors, and each color they're fantastic. And I'm not going through all colors today, but I will show you what I normally use most oftentimes. And what I also, so I'm gonna show the basic colors that I use for tissue. I will show you two techniques that I've used for tissue. One that is a little more time consuming, and the other one is gonna be if you have a patient in the chair, you need something quick, we'll throw some paint there and call it a day. Versus if you want to be a little more particular with the color, then we'll do it. But I will show you both ways. And the soft reline, as I mentioned before, is something fantastic. One thing that I recommend with the soft reline, with the Rodin soft reline, is that you need to make sure to rough it up really good, that denture. If you don't rough it up, it's not going to stick onto the denture. So rough it up really good and use that bonding agent that is right here. Apply that, let it dry, and start going. And then apply your soft reline. It's a 1-in-1 piece. You need a little gun to do it, and it works perfect. And then the best part is also this doesn't smell, and from what I heard, it doesn't taste either. I haven't tried it in my mouth, honestly, but there's no smell. Like if you get Co-Soft, or if you get Co-Soft smells horribly. It works wonders, but it smells. That was one of the biggest complaints that I remember when I worked chairside, that a lot of patients will complain and say, "Oh, this smells horrible." It's like, this one doesn't smell, and it works nice. And I did say before, we can also use it to pick up your cylinders on hybrids, which also works really nice. Again, you're gonna make sure that you rough it up, apply the bonding agent, let it sit, and move forward. Also, I do apologize if you hear any dogs barking. I do not control their barks. If they see something outside, I'm sorry. They're not in the room, but they're outside my office. All right, if you guys want to take a picture of this, and you can scan the QR code, you get a free hands-on guide and a sample of the Glaze N2-Free today. I'm gonna give another minute. Then if you didn't take a picture, let me know. I can go back later on and pull this back up. And as well as this one, please. I'll give it another minute. Then I'm gonna start with the hands-on. All right. Okay. I need to stop sharing. All right, can you guys see everything?
Looks good, Paolo.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. First thing is, I'm gonna get Kit. It'd be hard to see it, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we're
gonna
a
be hard to see it.
little blurry, yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. So I normally start with a little purple, and I'm gonna get pink as well. I like to use red. You just have to be really careful with the red. Uh, I did a case long time ago. I love that red. I thought it was gonna look beautiful. And when I got to insert it in the patient, it looked like the patient had gingivitis for how red it was. So I'm gonna get my N2-Free. I'm gonna use the wall that comes with the kit. And is actually use my
I'm losing your audio a little bit, Paolo, and we're a little blurry. Like, do you have a blur on your camera or no? There we go. Like we're coming in and out of
yeah, I see. I'm not sure. A little better.
not really. Still a little bit blurry. I think we were better on the other side of
On the
yeah,
white.
on the white, yeah. There we go. Getting there. Yep.
Okay. So I use my first step is my just a glaze coat. And I just go all over the teeth and on the tissue as well.
Do you have blur on your camera? One of the attendees is saying that if
I
you
do not.
no, okay.
That seems better actually. No, I don't have one.
Okay. That looks good.
I'll get it on your fingers just in case. I don't know if it's any glaze your fingers. So I'm trying to apply a uniform pretty much everywhere, making sure that I'm covering every surface. I'm not going to do the label on this one just because I want to hold it, but when you do, if it's a real case, you also do it on the label as well and on your occlusal. I don't know about this, the N2-Free is that you can use literally whatever, you can use whatever uh, light you want at this point. But one of the things about this is that you don't need nitrogen, right? So right now I'm actually using the Asiga flash that came with the printer, the little nail polishing box basically that came with the printer itself, and it works. Obviously, I have to say that the auto flash is the gold standard. That's no questions for that. But if you don't have the auto flash, or if you need something else, you can use this other curing lights, even the Anycubic.
Okay, so I have a poll question up that says, what are you using to cure your resins? Is it the auto flash or something else? And the answer is, oh my goodness, it seems that we have 44% using the auto flash and 56% are using something else, Paolo.
Wow. All right. All right. While I'm waiting for the curing light to finish, let's look at this denture. I know I really glazed this, and that's not gonna come out. But let's try this one. All you have to do, this is the best part. All you have to do is grab your N2-Free and you start applying it one drop per socket. Just like that. Once you apply all the N2-Free into the sockets, you're just gonna put this. And what you can do is you grab your brush and you can start glazing the outside. Obviously, if you have any gaps, sometimes it does come up with gaps, but if you have any gaps, you can certainly fill it with the Rodin resin. Obviously, that's not a problem. You can definitely do that still. But the bonding between the N2-Free and the two resins, it is much stronger than any other resins out there, and you cannot pull these teeth out. Because I tried several times, and I know a couple of friends of mine tried that too. Right,
So
I'm
while
gonna.
you're on this step, Alan wants
Mhm.
to know, why would you not want to use the resin to bond the teeth? And you basically answered, um, because of strength, right?
Yes, because of strength, correct. The chemical bonding between the glaze, sorry, the N2-Free glaze and the between the two resins, it is much greater than the resin itself. I've had in the past I've had issues where the teeth will come out, and with the N2-Free, it has not come out yet. At least not that I know, not that I'm aware of. Let's put it like that. But the strength is much greater than the resin itself. And I try them all, literally try them all. My next step, I'm gonna do in two phases on this one. I'm gonna do from the central to the canine the way I did, the way that I normally do, and from bicuspid to molar in a different way, in a different technique. I'm gonna use my pink, red pink.
Paolo, since you're on this
Yes,
step, Kelly wants to know if you're curing the teeth and base prior to luting these together.
absolutely not. Don't do it. So one thing about Rodin is that you have to cure any of any of the Rodin product while glazing. You cannot do it before. If you do it before and then you start glazing, you're going to over cure, and therefore you're losing your you're losing your color. So if you started with an A1, there's a chance it's going to turn into an A3. And I didn't know that my first time that I tried it. And I had an A2 Rodin Titan, or I think it was Sculpture 2.0, I believe it was actually. I curated 4,500 flashes on the auto flash, and then I started my glazing, and that A2 turned into a C5, C6. It was horrible, but it was a test. Then I figured out that I have to glaze it while curing. Another thing you need to do with Rodin, and really any ceramic field, you cannot wash in IPA. You're not supposed to wash in IPA. What I do is I have a spray bottle that I just spray it with IPA and then air hose it, make sure that it's all dry and repeat if necessary, but not if you want to dip it in the IPA, that's fine, but not more than 2 seconds. If it gets white chalky, like, not sure if you can see on this one. Can you see all that white chalk? If you see it, that means it's I used it. I washed the IPA too long. So maybe instead of being a 3 seconds, this might have been a minute. So you can't wash in an IPA, unfortunately. So first step, I'm gonna have my red pink. If this gets I'm sorry guys, this camera was working perfectly fine 20 30 minutes ago. I guarantee you that. And all of a sudden it's blurry as hell. So red pink. I like to use this one, magenta, which you cannot see it. And magenta is going to be my first coat, actually. One thing that you have to do when you glaze this, when you use the color from Rodin Palette 2.0, I would mix it with 1 drop of the N2-Free. That gives the perfect smoothness on the surface. Versus if you just apply the color itself, it might create some texture. And we don't want any texture on your hybrids, especially if it's touching the tissue. All right. So first step, I'm gonna mix my magenta color with with the glaze. All I'm doing is it's gonna be a very light coat. I'm just gonna apply pretty much everywhere. It doesn't have to be that strong. But it creates the depth that you need afterwards. Or at least that's what I'm in experience.
Paolo, I'm going back to an IPA question.
Mhm.
One of our attendees wants to know if you can't clean it with IPA, then how are you cleaning after the print?
If you can clean with the IPA, I have not tried it myself, but there is Harvest makes Innova prints, and Innova print is a substitute of IPA. It is a lot more expensive than IPA though. IPA you can get a little bottle for $4 at the any store, but if you want to get that if you want to get that Innova print, I think for a gallon it's about $30. So just keep that in mind because it can be expensive. All right, so you can see that I brought it in pretty much everywhere. Very light, you can barely see it. That's how I want it. So I'm gonna cure it again, and then I'm gonna show you the dent. And here's the denture. Remember, this was already glazed. This was already done, but this is still here. I'm trying as hard as I can, honestly. And you cannot get it out. So the strength is fantastic. And then you can start glazing it, and you can glaze the denture at the time you're gluing the teeth, honestly. That works just as fine, just works perfect. And I've done it. I just didn't do it in this case because if I do it, I'm out of time, unfortunately. But otherwise you can definitely do this. That shouldn't be a problem. Any other questions?
Yeah, so Damien wants to know how many flashes are you doing for each layer to set the cure?
Great question. That's a great question. So I normally do I normally do it's max of 4,500 flashes. You can't go further than that. Otherwise, you're curing the material. But what you can do is I normally do 1,000 flashes, and that's my set for glaze. That's it. I'm not doing this, nothing else. And
Can you
then I do
repeat that? Paolo, I'm sorry, we kind of lost audio there for a moment. How many flashes? 1,000?
1,000. Yep, 1,000 flashes for just the glaze, the first glaze, and then I do 500 flashes for each color that I need, up to 4,500. Now, if I have if I'm at 3,000 flashes, I may last 1,500 flashes just with a second glaze, just to keep all this color intact for the longest time that I can possibly do. All right, so we're gonna do this one. Here's cured. I'm grabbing my fattest brush because it's easier to use, honestly, and it's faster. So I mixed my red and pink color. Now I'm gonna start applying it on the tissue. Ah, figure it
So
out.
the trick is to add the nitrogen-free glaze to like thin it out. Is that what the glaze is used for, Paolo? So it's nice and
Say it again,
thin?
I'm sorry. Say it again, I'm sorry.
Adding that nitrogen-free is that thins up the Rodin palette material. So it comes that thin, right? That's like the trick to this.
So the trick is that it does get tacky. That's the problem with most of these glazes. Optic glaze doesn't get tacky because it doesn't need it. However, in my experience, as much as I loved optic glaze, it gets stained. Versus this one, if it doesn't get stained, sorry, if you use the N2-Free, you're eliminating the nitrogen, and therefore it doesn't get tacky. Like every time I use the Rodin Glaze 1.0, for example, you're starting to get your it gets tacky, the glaze, and is not fully cured. The N2-Free makes it like it's fully 100% cured all the time. And um the best thing is that it lasted for a while. Like that zirconia hybrid, that's been there for, it was delivered 8 9 months ago, I think. So it's been out for quite a while now. And as far as I know, it's still one piece, first, and secondly, it's still in good shape in terms of color. So now I applied it pretty much everywhere. So now you can add more material here, more color, and like this is the where, oh my God, I have a patient in the chair. I'm just gonna go with this. Something easy, something nothing fancy, and I'm just gonna throw some pink and call it a day. And all I've used for this part is the red and pink. And now I can show you better. This one here. That's actually one of my favorite. You can be very creative with this, honestly. Like if you see the patient is a darker color, you can darker tissue color, you can add some purple, some blue, some anything, and you can mix color. So now I'm done with this one. I'm gonna cure it, and this is the denture. Again, you can certainly do your glaze while you're glazing this, while you're setting up these teeth. One thing that I didn't do, and mostly because of safety reasons, I didn't put a little bucket of a little glass of IPA to clean my brushes. I would recommend you use IPA to clean your brushes. It's much easier. There's cross contamination. But if you've seen my webinar a couple months ago about safety in 3D printing, you know I didn't do this. So we're waiting for that. We're waiting um for our glaze to cure. In the meantime, I'm gonna show you something with this actually. So
So
let's say
I have a poll up
yes,
right now, and I
yes.
wanted to see who's using stain and glaze for their 3D printed prototypes. And it seems like an awful lot of people are using the Rodin Palette 2.0, 42%, OptiGlaze 27%, and other 31%. So
I'm
that's
curious
great.
to know what the other is. Well, I know there's other systems out there. I believe Ivoclar makes one too. I don't remember other ones, but I've used the Ivoclar, and it was okay. It wasn't expired, so it didn't quite work that much. But let's say you're trying, you're with the patient. You see, you had to adjust, let's say, and let's say that you screwed it in. You don't want to touch it. You don't want to remove it, put it back in the auto flash. Well, what you can do is easy. You apply it. Don't look at the blue light like I just did. And there you go. And it's glazed. So you can definitely use this one too. One thing that I don't recommend doing it, if your light curing has the option for turbo, I would not use it. I think it's a little too aggressive with turbo. I think it will overcure and it can change the color. But I think a normal one for 10 to 20 seconds, it will work just as fine. I don't think this was 10 seconds. I think it was a little less. Turbo, my experience, it tends to be a little too aggressive. All right, so one thing that I like to do now is I like to use red. And again, when you use red, you be very, very careful. Because I thought it looked beautiful until I put it in the mouth. And when we looked at it, both me and my docs were like, well, it looks like patient has gingivitis and it didn't look good. And again, one drop of glaze. Mix it. If you don't want to do one drop of glaze, you can do a little less than that. That's totally fine. It's not the end of the world. As long as you mix it with a little bit of glaze, that it will help with the surface texture, or otherwise it gets too bubbly, not bubbly, that's not, it gets too texture and the people can feel it. Actually, for the red, I use this one to go, my little brush to go between papillas. So a little bit. And when I try to apply this, I actually try to apply like I'm applying Mio basically. So I'm trying to go not really heavy with the brush. I'm trying to let uh the brush to be more on the surface instead of just going deep. I don't know. I'm not sure if that made sense. But if you're a big time Mio user, this you understand the concept, and try not to ruin what's underneath even if it's glazed. But sorry, even though it's cured. But that's what's my technique has been really for the past few months really, because I started doing it this way like that. So we all know the more it goes towards the bottom, the better it gets. So oftentimes I do like it to use it like this too, and I try to go ahead and start applying it, and then I bring it up. And again, always make sure not to apply too much. If you do think you apply too much, you can grab a little tissue and wipe it off. I think it's a little too much here. If you're satisfied with that, then we're just gonna cure it. What we can do now is do some teeth characterization as well. Paintbrush. So
Paolo,
these
one of
teeth.
our attendees wants to know if he doesn't have an auto flasher, what
Yep.
other curing box would you recommend for the Rodin?
Well, as I said before, the auto flush is standard. It is gold standard. It is the best one out there. So if if you want to use that, I would definitely recommend you the Rodin Palette. I would recommend investing into into auto flush. Right now, actually, what I'm using. Oh, my disappeared.
Yeah, I just saw your camera disappear.
Yeah,
Okay, we're back.
I'm using this. Yes, yeah. And for I think it works fine. But I'm doing stuff that doesn't go. It's not going in the mouth. Um, I have used it in the past that it went in the mouth and it worked fine. But your um the auto flash is the standard. I would highly recommend getting an auto flash. You do not need the nitrogen hookup. You can use the I don't remember the SKU numbers for the auto flash. I got to be honest. I used to know that, but the other auto flash, one without the nitrogen, one with. You can definitely use the one without the nitrogen for this case. However, there are some resins out there that if you use the nitrogen, it will be better. It will be harder. It will harden that product. And I think one of them is actually the Keystone Soft, if I'm not mistaken, for the night guards. So let's do this one. So when you see, I'm not applying that. You can do on this one is I'm going to apply on both surfaces, so buccal or lingual. And then I'm going to cure it. You can see the dash anymore. That means you apply too much paste. Okay. And once it's cured, you really can't do that much. There's only you just have to grind it off and pray that you can get it in one shot, because otherwise you're gonna over cure it. See, I did a little too much red over here, but that's all right. It's not going in the mouth. But you get the idea. So on this stage, you can keep adding some more pink. Like that. You can add more color. Or you can change and do um, you can do another pink. Pink, just be careful because it's very, very pinky. Like it's very bright, light pink. And I'll show it quick. Actually, I'm not a huge fan of that pink, I gotta be honest. Because once I apply it, looks gummy. I'm just gonna scale it from over here. But you can use it for your gingiva lines instead of the whole tooth. That's what I'll probably use it for, honestly. If you use it for the whole tissue, it wouldn't look pretty. You can see, not sure if you can see it, but you can see this part that I did a little too much here, and you can see that it doesn't quite blend in and gets cured. Normally with an auto flash is a little faster for me. This is just very um technique really for the curing. But let's do this one. All right, so we have 4 teeth that I put some glaze in it. Let's do some blue. Another color, like a brown stain, for instance, where I can do some craze line, some very dark craze lines. How about that? All right. That one, there you go. Right, now this one, there's not a lot of color on these two. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do it like this, and I'll let it drip and use it for both. The last thing I want is being too liquidy, and then it's gonna be hard to control it. Okay. Just be careful with the blue. If you do put too much blue, it does tend to be it's gonna look, too much blue and translucent. It doesn't look natural. So I try to blend it in, and the first couple times that I did it, it didn't look great at all. I gotta be honest, and it took me quite a while to get where I like. And even at this, I think I put a little too much. So what happens if you put too much is you're just remove it, and reapply it. One suggestion, when you apply it, I will also apply on the lingual too. So you can get that nice translucency on the buckle as well. Now let's get some translucency. You can put some more blue also towards your your line angles. I'm just gonna get an extra brush. Just go over again. I'll be doing the same thing on the laterals. It's a little too much probably. Since this is not going, I can show you what it looks like if you put a little too much blue probably. Now, once I'm done with this, once I'm satisfied with the blue, what you can do is, let's say you know that patient wants crease line. You can apply it by using brown stain, white stain, um, depending on the scenario, really. So it depends on what the patient has. But let's say this patient has a crease line that starts right there, and you're gonna start applying it. I used to use an endo files to do this stuff, but I don't have an endo file, so it's a little. There we go. Oftentimes the crease line can be a little, it can be a little just a straight line, or it can go sideways, it can go pretty much anywhere, right? So once I do that, I make sure that to get it into a nice and try to be a little more uniform. And it doesn't matter if you go up or down, honestly. It really doesn't. You get that nice uniform. That's really all that matters. Now, what we can do is we can add a little more right here. It's the same concept with any other glaze, really. The best part is that this stays here, and you can sort of move it around, versus other glaze systems can be a little more pain to move it because they're a little more liquidy and it doesn't stay in place. So this one, all right, let's say that we like it like that. You can put some cream also on the incisor ledge to get some halo. You can add more, you can add different kinds of colors, all sort of colors. There is a black that you can use, I'm sorry, black color that you can use. You can use this for like an A3, for example, to get some more translucency on the A3 color. I don't have an A3. I always have A1 and A2. You can thin it up and then use that. You can certainly do that. And again, make it to apply some glaze liquid onto the color. Not bad. Your final cure, it should always be your glaze. The glaze will stay there. You see the differences between the little fancy one You can probably fix it up some gingiva lines, some decorate, but the color looks pretty decent. The right here from your bicuspid, the if you have
I'm
a
sorry, Paolo. Can you repeat that, please? Because we lost audio.
hear me?
Yes, I hear you now. Thank
So
you.
if you have your if you're in a rush and you have a chair or it's the last you have UPS coming over, you need that case to go out, you can use this one. And it's really easy. When doing this one, I recommend doing for one color. If you need another set of colors, you can use another 500 flash and then repeat your glaze. Now, reason why I do 500 is because it's easy to count, to be honest with you. It 4,500, 500, 500, 500. So say 400, but it has to be a minimum of 400 flashes. The 400 flashes is your key point to set a follower with the Rodin Palette 2.0. So for me, 500 is easy. So I do and green is for my glaze. So this one, I'm gonna do my glaze pretty much everywhere or where I applied it. Again, when you apply it, make sure to apply it thin. Don't bulk it up don't thicken it up because you're going to lose all the texture. See, I put a little too much between the teeth there. And then I'm gonna put it back in the light, cure it, and let's take a look at this. That actually didn't come up pretty bad. If you like the way it looks, you cure it with just a little, with a thin glaze. I recommend doing this for denture specifically on your when you're doing when you get the teeth together. I strongly recommend doing that because you don't want to want to do it afterwards. That's also totally fine as long as you control it. The best part about Rodin is that the Denture 2.0 and the Sculpture 2.0 and Titan, they all do a 4,500 flashes. That's your max um, curing time on the auto flash. I put a little too much here actually. So let's move it around. See, that's another cool thing. If you think you put it too much, just move it around. Or if you messed up and you say you put a little too much pink on one side or you put too much blue, then go ahead and grab a little tissue, wipe it off. Let if you have if you want to use IPA, fine. You just have to make sure to not use a ton first, and secondly, you gotta make sure that you have just a little bit, and make sure to dry it. Make sure it's super dry because you don't want to start mixing colors and glaze um, with the colors. That's with the IPA, and that's what it looks like. And it's perfectly cured, and it's like I wish you guys can see it, can feel it, but it's not. And I have no nitrogen whatsoever in my office. Nor I have a auto flash actually. If I have an auto flash, it would have been 4,500 flashes. But this I didn't need to. Any questions?
We do have a couple of questions. So the first one is from Sylvia, and she wants to know, can you fix a broken printed denture?
Can you fix a broken
Printed denture.
printed denture? Uh, I would just reprint it, honestly.
Yeah.
I would just reprint it. I never tried to fix a broken denture before. I just reprint it. It's not worth the headache, in my opinion.
The next question is, can you use the N2-Free glaze on Valplast?
Hmm. That that is actually a great question, and I honestly don't know the answer, but I'm going to find out, and I will let you all know. That's a great question. I know I tried. Let me set the camera. Okay, so I have tried. I'm gonna put my messy background. Sorry. I have tried in the past a different kind of flexible partial, and that was in Chicago. It was from TC or something like that, and tried to glue the teeth into the onto the partial, and it worked perfect. With Valplast, I don't know. I would like to know though, and I'll try to find out for you. Here's see what was the poll? All right. Next question is what teeth library do you use for your printed models?
Yes.
I
Sorry, I
have no
was on
idea.
mute.
I I don't know honestly. Um, whatever Pac-Dent gave me. I don't know.
So the next one is, if you're only spraying with IPA, how do you get most of the resin off?
Great question, and I'm glad you asked that question. So one of the keys, especially when it comes to hybrids, you don't want the extra resin that it gets cured and that you don't see it, but it's stuck in the screw channels. Especially if the screw if the screw channel, they're normally about 2 millimeter, maybe. Sometimes they can be a little bigger, sometimes a little smaller. If you don't see any resin that is stuck in there and you cure it, you're going to have a hell of a time. You're not going to put that screw inside the screw channel, right? So, um, what you want to do is use a little Q-tip and you just shove it in there and start removing everything. And I normally dip it in IPA and start going in and out until I'm confident that there's nothing. Also, the air, you have an air compressor, you have an air hose next to your washing station, next to your printer. I think it's critical next to your printer and the washing station where you're going to post process all your prints. You grab that 3D printed hybrid and you start using the air. The air compressor will blow pretty much everything out. And if for whatever reason um, you're still not confident you're not sure if there's still resin inside, grab a micro brush. It's a little smaller than the Q-tip and start going in and out with that one. That always did the trick for me.
Perfect. So we have another question.
Have you tried using the GC label light to like the Rodin Palette? I have not tried it. I have not tried it. One thing that you can do though is when you try it, print a little bit, print a dummy test and try with that one. There's a good chance that you have to modify it all the timing. If you're if you're I probably wouldn't go more than 4 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, to be honest. I think it's going to be too aggressive to that. But if you want to try with 2 minutes for the just glaze and then 30 seconds, 40 seconds for the color, try with that. If the color comes out too tacky or you can wipe it off with your finger, then you know you need to add that into that timing. I have tried to use the Anycubic before, the wash and cure, and I used the 5 minute for the glaze only and a 2 minute for the color, and that works fine. However, if I had to do an extra color, it would change color of the whole prototype because it will be overglazed, over curing it. So if I know it's going to take a little longer, I would step down and do 3 minute glaze and a minute for the color. And that gave enough things for me to do multiple color cycles.
Thank
Are
you.
you able to put the QR code? Yes, I can. I will do that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Let me see if I can share.
While you're doing that, Paolo, I just want to let everybody know that
There you go.
if you answered yes to any of the poll questions that we had previously. My name is Fran. I'm Zon's education manager, and I will be giving you a call in the next day just to discuss whether you want to, add a printer, whether you want to take advantage of the special promotions that we have with Pac-Dent. So expect my call. I always love calling customers and being able to talk to you. And thank you personally for joining us here at Zon Academy. But we do have one more. And Zon has a 0% financing, and that is good for equipment and merchandise for 12 months. So if you're interested in a printer or you're interested in a printer and, getting some merchandising, let us know. We'd be more than happy to have you fill out this special form for the 12-month 0%, which is pretty good. I'd say it's more than pretty good.
Another thing, I assume you're all on Facebook and join the 3D dental printing group. It is there's a couple videos that I've done in the past that they've been posted that I posted there. You can search my name and you can find it. And obviously it's a little fast. It's a little fast video because for timing purposes with Facebook algorithm, but it will show you how I do all my staining glaze kits as well. All my staining glaze for tissue and all that kind of things. And I'm planning to do more. I'm gonna keep posting as well on that one and the dental lab as a laboratory group as well. And yeah, that's it.
Awesome. I want to let you all know what's happening next week on Zon Academy. We have Dan Morano, CDT, joining us, and he's going to be speaking to you about demystifying full arch screws. And on August, I can't believe we're talking about August already, August 6th, we have Chris Schermerhorn, CDT, and he's going to be speaking to you about optimizing flexible partial workflows. So we have some great stuff coming up, as well as our Kentucky Roadshow. It's coming to you in September. So if you're in the Lexington, Kentucky area, we'd love to have you join us for 2 days of great learning. Paolo, I want to thank you so much for joining us. This has been fantastic. We learned so
And
much
thank
from
you.
you. We thank you for joining us again here on Zon Academy. We really do. And we love having you here. And all of our customers love having you here. So thank you so much again. I want to thank you all for watching today. You will be getting this recording in your inbox in the next couple of days. So if there's anything you want to go back and watch, absolutely, it's yours. So take a look and make sure you retrieve that in your inbox from our Zon marketing team. I want to thank you all, and I hope you all have a great day. Thank you again, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Oh, wait a second. I think we have another question, Paolo. I'm sorry.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, thank you to Paolo and Zon. We really appreciate you. Thank you
Yeah,
for
thank
joining
you.
us.
Sorry for the first quarter of the presentation if it was a little blurry. I thought I disabled the blur background. Obviously, I didn't. Then I realized that it was still on. So whoever said that at the beginning, thank you, and I'm sorry.
No, it was fine. We cleared it up, so all is good. Have a great day. Thanks again, Paolo.
Thank you.
Bye, all.
Bye bye.